Thank you. Yes, I would like to give you my opinion and my view on working with a material, the water, that is. We just jumped one slide, but that's okay. The one we heard all day talking about politics and all this and how we can use water. For me, there's still some ways to use water other than these political ways, and that is what I want to show you. First, water exists in 3 states: liquid, solid, and gas, as you can see on this picture. Now, I will talk mostly about the liquid and the solid state. And as we heard Maria said earlier about how the water came to Earth is also interesting, I think. Again, from my view as a sculptor, this is really something that I think about. Because when the ice hit the Earth and it started to melt, the water and the hot magma met. And it was kind of like a marriage between the 2 materials. I would say very intense and turbulent marriage. And I also think and feel that this turbulence in some way got stuck in the material. It's still there. And the effect that water and stone has together still when they meet, I think is quite interesting. So here you can see the 2 materials, raw and untamed. And I got an idea that I wanted to bring the 2 together again, but in a more controlled way. So from my experience also working with stone, I know the effect that water has on stone and vice versa. The water shows the qualities and the hidden story within the stone, really, if you look carefully. And also the stone creates a beautiful contrast to the water. So I wanted to transform a boring, dull, everyday product into an experience that could make us smile with the help of water. So in 2001, I designed a sink. So what I started to do was I asked myself, why does sink look the way they do? Why is it this bowl? Because in the old days, you had the cold water from the little river or stream or well, and you had the hot water from the fire, and to be able to mix the 2 together to get the right temperature, you need a little sink. So you mix it. Today, we have a mixer. We get the right temperature from the faucet already. Unless you're in England. They still have the 2-tap system where it's hot and freezing, and so you still have to put the plug in and whatever. So I thought, what is the main function really for a sink? It's not to mix the right temperature of the water any longer. It's to lead water to the drain. And then I thought, how can I lead water? And then I thought, if you have a round bowl and you pour water on top, it goes to the bottom before dripping off. So I thought, how much can I squeeze this bowl, before it starts dripping on the sides? So the water follows the shape of the stone before running into the drain. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, this splash a lot. But no, you don't. And my experience also tells me that you need to try it to believe it. But it's still in a bathroom where I think it's okay to splash out, really. Also, I live in a part of the world where we have plenty of water. So I think you should use that joy that brings. So I designed this sink where I wanted to play with, so you as a user could play with the water, really, while you wash your hands. So one can really say that the 2 sinks you just seen is really designed by water, floating water. I just did what the water told me to do. I added some thinking on the side, but That's mainly what I wanted to do. Again, you can also create other materials with the help of water. If you mix water, cement, sand, and groll, you get concrete. And concrete is a fantastic material to work with. Again, the water is crucial to get the right result. You cannot have too much and not too little. And even though water seems soft, if it gets inside a material like concrete or stone, it can easily split it when it turns into ice. And the big challenge with working with concrete, I think, is to make something, the result. You need to think in a different way. You have to put your attention to the mold. And you can use water as a tool. Here, by adding high pressure, you can adjust the surface of the concrete. And if you increase that pressure, you can cut through as well. You can cut almost any material with water, with high pressure. Or you can use water itself as inspiration to actually give shape to a sculpture. Like the sculpture to the right, it's actually a tribute to the Torne River. And again, working with concrete and stone and those things is heavy, hard, and dirty. As you can see on the picture on the right, it's very dusty when you work without adding water. And to the left, the man does not need a breathing mask to work with it. However, we learned that you get dirty in both ways, just in different ways, glossy or matte. And when the concrete has hardened, and you get the final result in a sculpture, all of a sudden frozen water falls from the sky and gives a tremendous bonus that you did not expect from the start on a sculpture. Speaking about frozen water, I will tell you a little bit about this ice behind me here, why it is so clear as it is. This picture is taken in Jukkasjärvi, at the Torne River, located 200 kilometers north of the polar circle, or the Arctic Circle, in the very north of Sweden. This picture is facing towards Laxforsen, which is upstream, where the stream, where the river is narrow, more narrow, and the stream stronger. Here you not get thick ice. This picture is facing downstreams, where the river widens and almost comes to a standstill and more of a lake. Here you do get thick ice, but it's milky because of the expanding oxygen when the water transforms into ice. And if you wonder what the thing with the watch is on this picture and the other one, it's because this was taken in the summer. It's almost midnight, as you can see. At a certain point, a certain moment in the year, the temperature drops below 0 degrees Celsius, and the liquid water turns into its solid state, ice. And this moment, artists from all over the world gather to take the opportunity to do something with this moment, which is frozen. And we create all kinds of things. Sculptures, installations, and amusement park. Well, not really amusement park maybe, but at least we cut a circle about 50 meters in diameter on the river. You put a boat motor there, and you have a spinning circle. You lay on your back, and you watch the stars spin around. We leave it, and a few hours later, the river is frozen again, and the circle disappears. This we do in November, when the ice normally is this thick. This year, it's too warm. There is no ice on the river now. 3 months later, in March, when the winter peaks in the north of Sweden, we harvest the ice. The people at the Icehotel in Jukkasjärvi harvest the ice. And each block measures about 240 centimeters by 100 centimeters by 80 centimeters and weighs about 1.6 tons. Each year in March, we harvested, last year, almost 5,000 tons of ice. Put in a huge storage house and kept during the year to do all kinds of events all over the world. That's why this ice is here. This is from March this year, taken from the Torne River. This is a piece of Torne River right here. So, I give you the story or the knowledge how to build a hotel made out of frozen water. This is what you need. You need a river with this clear ice, clear water. And the ice is made because of exactly the right speed of the water, just outside the shore of Jukkasjärvi, as I told earlier. Upstreams, it's too strong stream. Downstreams, there's no stream at all. So just outside the shore of Jukkasjärvi, you have the perfect speed to create this. So what you do is that you pump water from the river through snow cannons to make sneeze. Sneeze is somewhere between snow and ice. Then you need metal molds like these. Then you need a 500 horsepower snow thrower to throw the sneeze on top of these molds. I wish you could hear the sound of this working. It's quite powerful. You wait 1 or 2 days, depending on the outside temperature, remove the metal molds, and voila! You have a solid structure made out of frozen water. Now you can use the ice that you harvested in March, together with the sneeze, to start building. And it's quite amazing, I think, how good construction material water is. And when we glue the pieces together, it's very hard work, really. And you get thirsty. It's not every day you drink the glue that you use, but here we do. And then you cut the bigger pieces into smaller pieces, depending on what you want to do with it. And once the structure is in place, we can start working on the inside, doing the interiors. This room, about 2.5 fun, hard, cold weeks later, the ice and sneeze is ready to meet the guests. People react different when they encounter the ice the first time. We noticed during the years working at the Icehotel. Of course, even the glasses are made out of the river. Or you can use water by sending heavy things on it. If you put 50 tons of ice in a container, close the doors, put it on a ship, and you can send it anywhere you want. And in an existing building, you build a huge freezer with good insulation walls. Then you can create a room made out of ice anywhere in the world. And to keep this room cold requires about the same amount of energy as keeping a normal apartment warm. But we put in all this ice as well. That is already frozen by Mother Nature. Most of it we prepare at the Icehotel. We cut with the CNC cut machine, so we can do patterns, we can do text in the ice. Some things we do on site. Or you can do about 250 tons of sneeze, put them in 16 trucks and drive to Paris. You stack them on top of each other, you dance on it a bit. Again, the construction material that water is amazing, I think. And shaped in the right way, it can be a catwalk for a fashion brand. After this show that lasted 16 minutes and 40 seconds, about my speech here, the sneeze and ice was taken out to a field outside Paris, where it melted back into Mother Earth again. And this fact that the ice melts, as we can see, need to empty those soon. this fact is very liberating for me as an artist, designer to working with. That the big challenge is also to actually make something interesting, something with this beautiful piece of material, to add some kind of value. And sometimes the sculpture lasts only a few hours, like this one, for example. This only lasted a few hours. When I made this, it was plus 11 degrees Celsius and raining. And what a relief, really, that it melted, I think. And this fact, again, that the ice melts is beautiful, I think. Even the metamorphose itself is beautiful. So slowly, about 4,000 square meters of Icehotel is returning back into the river again. It goes back to Torne River. And all this energy and effort and thoughts that all the artists and people who builds is put into the ice and the sneeze, into the water. And when it melts, it runs back into the river and out in the sea. And I wonder what happens with all this energy. I hope something good comes out of it. Here is the mighty Torne River, still an untouched river in the north of Sweden, running through the landscape. And as we heard during the day today, and in this presentation, it's a fact that water today is truly a luxury material. It's a luxury to have it. It's just some people need it to survive. Some people use it to create fantastic art or installations. And I'm happy to be one of them. Thank you.